Jo, měl by to jít.
Jo, já tam chytla jako hangout on air, ale už to pryč. Aha, ne.
Já už, on to má zpoždění.
Asi i Jabra funguje.
Jo. Dobrý. Stopnu ten sharing. Můžu to vlastně nechat Hi. Is audio okay? Please let me know on the Slack. Okay, so I think we can start. I prepared a presentation for you today regarding JavaScript front-end frameworks, which is not exactly true, but I will get to that later. And that is Vue.js and React. I will go through some basic info, point out similarities and differences. And then I will show you a simple single-page application I created in the Vue and in the React, and also in the Vue with a state management and with React with a state management. That is with the Vuex and Redux. And I will tell you why you should, why and when you should use those state managers. Okay, so basic info. Here you can see some stats. Those are data from Tuesday, I think. Yeah, from Tuesday. As you can see, Vue is right now more popular on GitHub by star rating, but it has a lot less contributors. And that's maybe because it's a year younger than React. React is backed by Facebook, and Vue is completely backed by community. It's originally created by Even You, which is a former Google employee, and he's still working on Vue with his core team. There are some examples who uses these frameworks. So for Vue, it's mainly Chinese market. So Alibaba, which is a parent company for AliExpress, for example, or Nintendo or 9gag. React is more used on the Western market, so you can see Facebook, of course, Netflix, Uber, Twitter. Here you can see which is more popular. This is data from state of JavaScript in 2018. What is surprising for a lot of people is that Vue is more popular than Angular already. React is still the most popular framework, but I think Vue is on a good way. I looked up some data on how many sites are using React and how many sites are using Vue. I think React is in the lead by 50%. Okay, here you can see npm charts, which is npm installs of the packages. The red is React. If you can see it, blue is Vue. So you can see here that React is used a lot more, but Vue is still on the rising trend. Yeah, this also reflects on the Stack Overflow trends for the questions regarding these. Okay, so similarities. Both of these frameworks uses virtual DOM, which is abstraction of HTML DOM in JavaScript objects. They both consist of reactive composable Vue components, and both provides the core functionality, which is providing UI views. Routing, global state management, CLIs, and stuff like that are in the separate libraries. They both have support for mobile, React with the React Native, and Vue with the Vuex. They are both under MIT license. React tried to be under BSD license. Well, Facebook intended to have the license change, but they had a lot of backlash from developers, so they keep the MIT license. I think there were some issues with the patenting or stuff like that. Yeah, the components which both of these consist of are the building blocks of these applications written by these frameworks. They have optional parameters. They return the elements describing UI. As I said, they have each life cycle events, and they have own data. Basically, the component specific state and methods. Here you can see the life cycles. Those are really similar. I will point out some differences in the differences section. My option on these, I think Vue has more descriptive life cycles names, and that's I think that's better for the beginners to get into it. Yeah, the main differences is that Vue is using templating, which I will show you example of shortly, and React uses JSX, which is abbreviation for JavaScript XML, which is abstraction above React, basically the JavaScript function. You can write the React components just by your JavaScript. Vue is newer by year, so it has a smaller ecosystem. This is also caused by it because it's backed by only by the community, when React is backed by Facebook, which is a big company. Also, the Vue with a state manager, the default, if you can say it, default state manager for Vue is Vuex, which has a mutable state, and for React it's Redux, which has immutable state. And React is more focused on the you can say functional programming style of development. Okay. Here are the components itself. You can see in the view the template style and logic in the script are separated. Template basically looks it's HTML with some syntactic sugar above it, and React on the other hand has all the HTML in the render function, and the style is separated into its own CSS file. Okay, here is someone pointing out how difficult in React is it to do reactivity. Well, not reactivity. Yeah, reactivity. And developer of React, one of the developers of React, has a good comeback to this, saying that React is focused on making your code understandable despite the growing complexity of your requirements, not on making simple examples as short as possible, which is one of the main differences to me, because in a React, I think it's the syntax of it is very complex, but in the end, it can be more clean. This is the comparison of the example that he pointed out in that tweet. As you can see here, I can describe it what this does. So this is just input for text, and here's the header displaying what you basically type into the input. Those are both same, just different frameworks. So in Vue, you have the template, which is this HTML, and to the input you say vModel name, which name is data of the my component, as you can see here. And you just bind it by this Vue model name. You can do it because the state is mutable. So basically, as you type into the input, the name property is changed on the fly. On the other hand, in React, what you have to do is bind handle. Here is the render function with the HTML, and you have to bind handle change function, which is described here, and you have to set state. So it changes the state because the state in React is immutable. So it looks harder, but I think it makes sense because you always know what are you doing. And this is another difference, saying that with a Vue on every as the state is mutable, with every change to the state. Okay. There's some issue with the streaming, I see. So yeah, but I don't have any notes in the presentation, so that I hope that's okay. But maybe for the streaming purposes. Víte, jak to dělat? Že oni vidí to, jako na streamu tohle. Musel bys to promítat podle mě rovně na monitor. Počkej, to tam mám nastavené právě. Kde jenom s tím monitor? Čekaj, tak právě, počkej, on se to přeplo samo.
Právě, že nemáš, to jde úplně to samo.
Jo, OK. No, on to přepne sám.
No.
Okay, let me see if I can share the other screen.
Zkus promítat tady na projektoru, vypni si u sebe určitě display.
Okay, now it should be okay. Can you let us know in the InDeEd channel? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for this. Okay, we can continue where I left off. Yeah. Okay. As I was saying, in the Vue, as the state is mutable, every change re-renders whole UI, well, the whole component. While in the React, you have to do it yourself, and here you do it by the set function, the set state function. This way, you can optimize manually in React, while in Vue you don't have this option. Okay. For the example, I've created a single page application which looks like this. I can show you. Yeah, here it is. This is running. Yeah. Yeah, this is running on Vue currently, and what it does is just you can create pages, edit it, delete it, whatever. So just like that. Okay, that's just an example. I've created a simple REST API for it, and here is the how the components of it are built. So you can see we have three main components, and that is navigation bar, the sidebar, and the page itself. All this is, of course, wrapped into other component, because your app is basically a component in these frameworks. So it's described. Yeah, this is the file structure of it. You can see it's pretty similar. You have your components, and I have the encapsulating component in a Vuex folder, which is called home. Other than that, there aren't many differences. Communication between these components is through props, which goes down, and child can communicate with his parents by emitting events. This is true for both frameworks. So this is the layout of my app, and this is the hierarchy of it. You may think it does not make sense, and it's true, because I've created like this so you can see where the power of using share state is. Basically, right now, every component has its own state, which can cause some troubles, because you have to sync your states, so you don't have any issues. I will show you example of what happens in this case when you press save page. So this is the Vue implementation. In the left upper corner, you can see the component state, the data. In the right down corner, there is the methods of the component. And outside of the components, you can see with the arrow to the right, those are props, which goes to the component, and arrow to the left are the events that component can emit. So what happens when you click on the save page? You click on the save page in a navbar. It triggers the save page method, which emits the event trigger save page. We have there is a voucher in the home. The yellow is the home component, which all the other components are in. It triggers a method in it, which increments the data save page increment, which is passed down as a prop to page object, which triggers the save page method, which loads the page, and it emits the page saved event, which then increments or changes the load page path, and it goes back as a prop, and then it causes another method to be triggered. So how we can avoid this? We can avoid this by using a store, which is used like this, and is the single state of truth in the whole application. For the state management in the Vue and React, there are main, you can say, main libraries for this. In the Vue, it's a Vuex, which is mutable state management. Well, the state is mutable in it. In the React is a Redux. Redux, for example, is a framework agnostic, so you can use Vue with Redux. So, but it's not really recommended from what I've read. For the Vuex, it has actions and mutations. And in the Redux, it has also actions and reducers. Actions are called from the component itself in both of these frameworks. And then from these actions in the React calls reducers, and Vue calls mutations. I don't know if I said this, but I will repeat it. In the Redux, the state is immutable. So every time you change something through reducers, whole state is replaced. There are some reasons for it. It's for the enforcing mutation of the state only through reducers. So you have clearer logic. The reducers are pure functions, so there are no side effects. And also by this, you can do shallow equality checks, so you don't have to check the properties against each other. You just have to check the memory references, and you can time travel debug. So because you have all the states you changed. This is the Vuex. From the Vue component, you dispatch action, which may call, for example, backend API. From the actions, you commit mutations, which mutate states. On the state change, it re-renders the component. Redux is really similar, just the mutations are replaced by reducers. This is the file structure for it, which is also very similar. Only thing that we have here is the store. But I think I can show you this in code. Also, I tried to find some memes regarding this, and I think in the meme community, the Vue is more popular, as you can see, because I cannot find the one that is in favor of React. Okay, let's go to the code. I will show you the navbar component in navbar component in each implementation. Yeah, also what I forgot to mention is, if I go back, on this link you can get all the source code in a GitHub, even with this presentation. So I think it's good starting point for everyone trying to who wants to try it. Okay. Okay, this is the navbar component in the Vue. As you can see, you have your template, and you have the declaration of the component itself. You can see we have the edit mode props, which is passed down to this component from the home component. And we have these methods that are called on the button clicks. What this does is basically just emit event up to the parent parent component. Okay. This is with the Vuex. So you can see there is we map properties from the Vuex store that we need. So here is the edit mode, which was prop in the version without Vuex. And the methods are the same, but they don't emit events. They call these actions on the store, which I can show you how it looks. This is the module which contains the state, the initial state, actions. So you can see here there is calls to API through page services, And these actions commit mutations, which mutates the state, and those are here. So you can see it's just replacing the state. Okay. Navigation component in the React. As you can see, we have the same methods, but here this is with the Redux. Right? Yeah, this is the React. Okay. So this is our HTML with some logic. Here we are binding the methods from the props, because in React you can pass the methods from the parent component to its child as a prop, so you don't have to emit events. It basically does the same thing, but it's done like this in a React. Other than that, it's the same. We have also edit mode prop. And with the Redux, you can see we imported the actions which are mapped from the Redux to the component here by the connect function. I can show you the store here. It's basically split into the actions that are called from the components. For example, here, which calls API services, and it dispatches the reducers, which are here, and the reducers just replace the states as you define. Yeah, so this was basically it. If there are any questions here in the Slack. Okay, I know this was really quick go through, but I think the main benefit of this is this code. You can download and play with it and see the differences for yourself. Also in the Vuex and the Redux versions, I've also implemented the routers. So you have your URLs to go through this SPA. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I think that's it.
Yeah, thanks. This is the stream.